Smitter. You guys got fucking lucky, eh?
I guess so.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to LGHL Quick Wrap. I am your host, Notorious FAT00 Baby. And tonight I have with me 4 panelists. Some you may recognize, some you may not. Starting with my top corner there, I have Painter back again. How you doing tonight, Painter?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
You know, I'm always great. Always. Another familiar face you may have seen in media before, down in the bottom left there, Mr. Smitter. Smitter, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for being here. A couple of newer faces as well. Up in my top right there, I've got Mr. Murph. 2 Murph 7. Do you want me to say the X's too? Because it's a big amount of work. Okay, we're just gonna say Murph then. Okay, let's not get too technical.
Good.
So how you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
Excellent. And finally, last but not least, Bell X91 with us. How are you doing tonight?
How's it going, boys? Thanks for having me. First time.
First time. Look at it. We'll be gentle. Don't worry.
All right.
I'm very gentle. Just before we get started, we're going to be talking playoffs tonight, but just before we get started, I want to throw out a couple of thank yous because I keep forgetting to thank people for all they've done for me on this show so far. So just quickly, I want to thank Tivs. Tivs designed this beautiful logo above me here, as you can see, spinning around. So he did that logo for us. Mr. Watery Dolphin 77, he made the logo spin.
Yeah.
Look at it spin. Beautiful. And, of course, Tino 45, everyone knows Tino. He does so much technical work for me behind the scenes because I am a complete fucking idiot and I can't do anything on my own. So he's been awesome for us this year. And I want to thank everyone who's been on the panel this year. Thank you guys for giving me your time and your attention. I appreciate it. But without further ado, let's move on. First round, we saw some series. I assume everybody watched some games, paid some attention to the stats. Let's start with the Western Central. Sort of thought of as maybe one of the weaker divisions. Number 1, San Antonio defeated the number 4 Texas Stars, 4-0 sweep. Anyone really got anything to say about that? Pretty uneventful as I can see.
No surprises there.
Yeah,
No surprise.
definitely no surprise.
Next.
Yeah, next, okay, we're moving on. Sorry, Texas. Sorry, but you didn't put up much of a fight there. The other series in that division was the Milwaukee Admirals, third place team, defeating the Iowa Wild in 5 games, 4-1. Anything of note there for you guys, or was that pretty straightforward as well?
I'm pretty surprised that the Wild didn't put up a bigger fight at all. I know Milwaukee's pretty hot. They had some good moves. The record's on fire right now for them. But I thought Milwaukee would have at least stole one more game out of that series.
Or Iowa?
Not Milwaukee, sorry. Iowa.
Anybody else? Because I kind of agree with Painter. I think Iowa kind of went flat.
I agree. I think Iowa should have did a lot better. But, I mean, that's playoffs.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right?
They should have taken it to 6 games, at least. They're a pretty good team.
Yeah, I would agree with 6 games. I think 6 games would have been a good series for them, too. 8th and 7th seed.
I don't think anyone expected them to win.
Besides Game 4, none of the games were really even close. I mean, 4-1 win for Milwaukee, a 3-0 shutout in Game 5, and then Game 2 was 8-5 win. That's just...
8-5.
Yeah, that's
pretty
Everyone
easy
crazy.
in
thought
that game.
Iowa threw in the towel on week 3, too, so it's not really that big of a surprise.
Yeah.
All right, then. All right, so we'll move away from the Western Central there, and we'll move over to the Western Pacific. That's where you're going to find number 1 Colorado Eagles defeating the Tucson Roadrunners in 6 games, 4-2. Any comments on that, guys?
Murph?
Yeah, Murph, any insider
comment.
info on that one?
Eagles are all in the chat box all day, and they took 6 games to beat us, and we had ECUs in Game 1, 2, 3, and 5. So, it's a big yikes.
Were they the better team?
I guess, since they won the series.
Yeah. Colorado came out hot after deadline.
There's your
Yes.
handshake thread right there.
Yeah.
All right, so that one's kind of neat and tidy as well. I think the more sexy series there was probably the Stockton Heat versus the San Diego Gulls.
What a battle that was.
That was a number 2
Yikes.
versus number 3. Smitter knows something about that game. Maybe had a pretty tight butthole there in the Game 7. I'll just say this much. That Game 7 was amazing. I watched it today because I missed it. That was Wednesday night or Thursday night?
Wednesday.
Wednesday night. I was at a Christmas dinner, so I missed it. Dunk sent me a link to it today so I could see the Davos commentary and everything. By the way, amazing job, Davos. Amazing job, Nico, doing the commentary there. That's big game stuff. I love that. But,
it's awesome to listen to.
Yeah, really, really entertaining. Anyone want to talk about that series? That was a pretty intense series right there.
I got a question for Smitter.
Oh, well. Yes, please take my role.
So, do you really think that's how you guys should have won that game? Off that tip off the dick, basically? And I mean, San Diego, you got to say, San Diego was the better team that last 5 minutes. I mean, the shorthanded goal is what it is. And then letting that one with 15 seconds left. I mean, you got to kind of feel bad for them. They really battled that OT. I personally have to say I think they were the better team in overtime for the first at least 5 to 10 minutes. And then I think you guys scored, what, was it about 15 minutes left? It was about 5 minutes left, sorry?
Yeah, I think it was
Something
closer to about a minute left in the overtime.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
But I definitely think Iowa. What's their face? Is San Diego. I think San Diego put up an extremely great fight in that game. Definitely was one that everyone would have wanted clued into.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I think they were the better team going into overtime in that last 5 minutes and the third. I hate to see that, we won off of a goal like that, but that's how this game is. I mean, it's stupid shit like that.
That is
EA.
EA.
It's just unfortunate.
Terrible.
We've all had games like that where we've won layout. We've all had games where we've lost layout, right? So we all know that pain. It happens.
It's just unfortunate it had to be a Game 7.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, but it goes.
I mean, there was 4 overtimes in that series.
Yeah.
Games 1, Game 3, Game 5, and Game 7. So, I mean, it's just...
That's a pretty tight series.
Yeah.
Don't play odd-numbered games. That's the rule right there.
Yeah, that's...
Anybody else want to touch on that at all, or should we move on?
I didn't even watch Game 7 on that one.
Dang.
I mean, you missed the thriller.
I was too busy with Bills being upset.
That is hurtful. Smitter, don't leave, okay? I'll make it up to you. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next division here. That's the Eastern North. Eastern North saw the Belleville Senators roll over Utica in 5. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Not much to say there, unless anybody has something.
All the games looked really close.
Yeah, they're the same thing as...
And like the one that we lost, and it was my line. It was like they played like that 5-man trap, and it was hard to break, man. Like they actually put up a really good fight, and I mean it was a 4-1 series win, but they could have had a couple of bounces, and we could have easily won 6-7, easily.
Yeah, it looks like there wasn't even not even more than 3 goals in any of the games.
No, like it was the last 2 games were 1-by-1 goal, and then the first 3 was shutout, and then, or sorry, the first game was 3-1, and then they won 2-0, and then we won 3-0, and that was it. And after that, it was just they absolutely battled. They wanted it, and they brought it. But
yeah, Belleville's kind of my team to pick right now. I see you guys in the finals, so that's been my pick. We'll see how that works out. Number 3, Syracuse defeats the number 2 Rochester Americans in a sweep. Shall we sweep this one under the rug?
I didn't know Syracuse was that good. I'll give you that.
I don't think anybody really did, but was it Syracuse or was it a matter of Rochester not showing up?
Yeah, I heard it was underperforming, but
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do there?
They're all 1-goal games. That's pretty tight.
Rochester scored 5 goals in 4 games. So I mean that really says
That's
it
not
all.
enough.
sounds like Manitoba.
Moving over to the Eastern Atlantic, our last sort of division here, we had the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins at number 4 defeating the Charlotte Checkers. Big shocker there. Did anyone see that coming, or are we all just pretending that we saw that happening?
I missed the Game 7, so I don't really know what happened. I only saw it was a 1-0 win.
It was in overtime.
in overtime.
There was
There
some
you go.
controversy in that series as well with the one game that was overturned. I think it was Game 3 or Game 4 that got overturned. Kind of brought the series back for Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, I have a feeling Moist is really kicking himself over that one.
I think he's
Yeah,
probably
that was-
upset.
Mistake.
That was also
Plus
another
with the
series.
game loss, and what was it, Game 1 or 2 that he played?
Yeah.
Game 1.
From what
Game
I've
one
seen,
he lost, yes, 2-1.
from what I've seen, he's been very mature about it. You know, things happen.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But I imagine it's eating him up. He can't be too happy about it.
Well, he probably knows that he fucked up. So I mean, there's not much he can.
Yeah, mistakes
He's just
do
taking it like a man and going from there.
Moist,
Exactly.
learn from that and move on. That's all
Bravo,
you can
bravo
do.
to him.
That was another series though. That was every game was a 1-goal game too.
Yeah, that was a very close series. And
Except
a
for
lot
the
of, a lot of
overturned
shit
one.
talk back and forth too. I like that.
Wilkes-Barre is pretty decent, though, so I can't say it's too surprising. It was just a case of who was going to win the games and how close were they going to be, I guess, and who was going to get the lucky bounces.
Yeah, I enjoy Wilkes-Barre. I like a lot of those guys on that team. I like the makeup of it, but we'll see if they have the horses to move on here. Lastly, we had the Bridgeport Sound Tigers at number 3 defeating the Hartford Wolfpack. That was a shocking series, I think. I think a
That's
lot of
a shock.
people had been talking about Hartford maybe being in the final, and they got bounced 4-2. So does anybody else share that thought, or did you think this kind of went the way you thought it was going to go?
Well, I picked them for the finals, and I knew they had to get by that first series first, though. Gumba, all of them, they always put out a good team, right? So I think that was their toughest series to look at in the East, and if they ran into Belleville in the finals, that's where it would have been their next run. That would have been tough, but it looks like they didn't even make it out of the first round. The Noofs got to them.
Yeah, it was a very shocking division. I think everybody saw Charlotte and Hartford as the finalists there for that division. They're both gone now, so congratulations to
Boys think there's
Wilkes-Barre
a
Bridgeport.
curse of winning the presidents.
Yeah, there may be a bit of a curse with that too. That's for another show though. All right, so let's just go ahead and we'll forget about the first round now. That's over. We've talked about it a little bit, but it's old news at this point. Let's talk round 2. Let's talk about those matchups. So let's start back Western Central final. So we have the San Antonio Rampage at number 1 facing the number 3 Milwaukee Admirals. How do you guys feel about that? And let's talk a little bit about it. Let's start with Murph. Murph, what do you think about Rampage versus Admirals?
I think the Admirals will take it. They got the top scorer in the league, so I think they'll take it. They got Hobbs. Hobbs is a solid D-man. Legacy. I didn't even know he was on that team. He started with
Yeah,
us.
he was a late pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're
Yeah.
definitely coming in hot, right? So,
Oh yeah.
and they don't have any problem scoring. They definitely score
No,
goals.
that's for damn sure.
So you don't want to get in a shootout with the Admirals.
No.
What about you, Smitter? Looking very stoic.
I actually like San Antonio in the series.
Okay.
I think they're going to take it in 6 personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did go 7. And I wouldn't be surprised either if Milwaukee had San Antonio in a hole early, stealing games 1 and 2. But I still think San Antonio is still going to come out on top.
Okay. I don't think you're going to be the popular pick, but it's an interesting one. Painter, what do you think?
Well, I'm actually going to agree with Smitter, but probably because I have a little bit of a bias from playing with quite a few of the players on San Antonio.
Okay.
I've got to play with ATS, Dan Hutton, and Volt brought me my best season ever. I know they got the heart to get out there, win the games, but Milwaukee's really hot right now, so it's going to be close. Let's hope they win it, and it'll probably come down the wire in my bet.
All right. So I'm looking stupid now. Bell, help me recover here. You're picking the Admirals, right?
Nope, I'm actually gonna
I
give
get
the
that.
head to San Antonio. Personally, I think they've got. I'm gonna say, personally, I think they got the edge over Milwaukee. I mean, yeah, they swept Texas 4-0 Big Blue, but I mean, it's just playoffs. I mean, I think it's gonna go 6 or 7, but I think I give the head to San Antonio.
So you're all against me except for Murph. Murph, you're on my team, right?
Oh yeah.
We're going Admirals?
Yep.
Okay, to hell with these guys. All right. let's move on to the other Western matchup in the Western Pacific. The final has the number 1 Colorado Eagles facing the number 2 Stockton Heat. I'm thinking this is the matchup. This is the one I'm going to be watching. Someone better be streaming, Smitter.
Maybe.
What do you got to say? I know you probably don't want to talk about your series. I mean, people always get weird about that, but
I'll talk about it. It's okay.
Well, then talk about it, sir.
I like most of the Colorado guys. I think it's going to be a really tight series. I think a lot of games are potentially going to go in overtime, like the last series. But I really think that we have the edge. We have the momentum going into that. I know they probably think they're going to be high and mighty, but like Murph said, it took them 6 games to beat a team that had to use 3 or 4 ECUs at forward. So little shots fired there, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Some pew pew going there. What do you?
Bell's looking smug down there, like he's going to go against Smitter here.
What about you, Murph? How you feeling about the Colorado Eagles versus Stockton Heat?
Yeah, I'm taking Stockton for sure. Like Smitter said, they took 6 games to take us out, and not many people thought we were going to make playoffs after the whole JP thing, but we did. You know, I'm taking Stockton probably in 6.
Okay. Bell?
I got Stockton just because I like Stockton more than the Eagles, but the Eagles are definitely going to... As a team, more than personally, I'd say, but Stockton's a great team, and so is the Eagles. It's going to be a great matchup. You can't take the Eagles lightly, though. They got a great squad, and so does the Heat, but it'll be a good series, and I'm going to take Stockton.
All right. Painter?
I'm going to have to stick with the trend. I've never believed in Colorado at all from the beginning of the season. So, I guess, the boys, this is where you prove me wrong. Take down Smitter and Dunks. Get rid of them. They're bums.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch. Yep.
But I'm still taking Stockton, and probably in about 6.
Okay. I don't even remember who I selected in the poll. I think I took Stockton. I'm going to say Stockton as well, but I think it's going to go long. It's just, I hope it goes all 7 games, and I hope they're all close. I'm looking forward to watching as many as I can. So, stream those games, please. Let's go.
If anyone watched Game 7, they know we can't, contain a lead. So, we'll see how it goes.
Davos, get on those games. All right, let's move over to the East. Round 2, Eastern North. We have the Belleville Senators facing off against the number 3 Syracuse Crunch. Who would like to talk about that series, I wonder? Bell, would you like to talk about that?
Well, I mean, they're coming off a sweep, and they're riding hot, and I don't really know too much about Syracuse, if I'm going to be honest. But my boys are definitely excited, and they want to win, so, I mean, I'm going to take us, obviously.
What was your season series this year? I don't have the screen in front of me.
Let me check it. I'm not really too sure. It is. Pull it up for you. I believe we were 3-0.
3-1.
3-1. There you go.
There you go. Smitter's on the spot. All right, so that's.
But yeah,
you're not gonna pick against yourself, right? We knew that's coming.
Well, no.
Are you scared though? Are you worried about these guys?
I mean, it's the playoffs, man. Like you just saw, Charlotte's gone, Hartford's gone. Like anything can happen, but. It's going to be a good series. I mean, I'm trying to win 3 in a row here, so I'm not going to take them lightly.
Okay, then. All right. What do you think, Painter?
I, too, don't know too much about Syracuse. They're obviously pretty hot. I'm going to go with the Senators, though. They kicked my ass a few times this season. They only got hotter from there, and, yeah, definitely should take this series in about 5. I'm ignoring that 4-0 run.
Okay. And I think that's kind of maybe what Syracuse's MO is here, right? Nobody really knows much about them, so maybe that's their advantage. Maybe that's the game they can play, right? Like, kind of sneak in and, get you by surprise. Murph, how you feeling about Senators Crunch?
I got to go with the Senators. I got to go with K-Dev and Swifty Tip. They're back from season 27 Steelheads on my team. I think they'll take it in 5.
Okay. And Smitter, finish us off here.
I'm also going to agree with everyone else. I'm going to go with Belleville. But I do think it's going to go either 6 or 7 just because, like everyone says, no one really knows much about these Syracuse guys. And from what little I do know is that they do play together a lot. So the chemistry is there. So maybe that might help them win a couple, but I don't think they'll be able to win 4.
Yeah, that is the key, right? Chemistry is key. Any team I've played on, they don't play together. We have no chemistry and we lose. So chemistry is key.
Especially the crease.
I'm sorry, Painter?
Nothing. I was being sarcastic.
Okay. Yeah, I've been picking Belleville to come out of the East since the playoffs started here, so I'm going to continue that trend as well. I don't have an amount of games. Let's say 5 games. I'll let Syracuse have 1. I'm a nice guy.
Why are you picking us?
I've liked Belleville from the beginning just because the way you guys have been playing coming up to playoffs. I just like when you come in hot. I like that you're on that streak and you're world beaters at that point, right? You have all the good feelings and the good mojo. We'll see what happens over the break though, right? That's a 2-week break. You guys, if you continue to play together, that can be good. If you all jump onto other games, start playing COD or Red Dead or whatever it is, it could become a problem, right? If Syracuse is playing their games. So, all right. And let's finish it up here with the Eastern Atlantic. We got the number 3 Bridgeport Sound Tigers facing off with number 4 Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins. Bottom teams here that got by the big boys. Who wants to start us there?
I'll go. I'm taking Bridgeport, and I'm also riding Bridgeport to the finals after that dominating win over Hartford. The Noofs have got it going, and they're firing off on all cylinders, so I'll take them to go to the finals, as well as take Wilkes-Barre probably in 6. They're still tough competition.
Okay. All right. Smitter, you want to go next?
Sure. I personally believe whoever wins out of this series is going to go to the finals for the East. No offense to you guys, Connor, but I just personally think out of these 2 teams are going to be representing the East. For this series in particular, I'm going to go with Wilkes-Barre, just because I believe that they're riding off a high against Charlotte, even though the controversy with that. But I'm still going to go with Wilkes-Barre in 6.
All right, Murph, you want to weigh in on this one?
It's pretty hard to go against the team that took out the Checkers, but I got to go with Glax and Gumbo boys. They're a solid team. They've been pretty solid for a couple seasons now, so I got to go with them in 7.
Okay, in 7. And then finish us off here. How do you feel about this, Bell?
I think it's gonna go 7. I could be wrong though. I mean, with Bridgeport knocking out Hartford and us saying Hartford they didn't take them serious. They underperformed. I mean, you can give Bridgeport the nod on that. I think Wilkes-Barre will come out, and with us taking Wilkes-Barre in the final, if we make it on, I think they could be a really dangerous team. But definitely, I think that is a 7-game series with Wilkes-Barre taking it.
Okay, so I believe that's 2 for Wilkes-Barre and 2 for Bridgeport, making me the swing vote. And I'm gonna go with the Penguins because I like those guys. So I don't know if they like me or not, but that doesn't matter. I'm picking them anyhow, and that can be dangerous because I'm poison. And I'll pick them in 6 games for Wilkes-Barre. All right, with that covers all of round 2. So we have no more games to talk about. We have a couple minutes here if you guys are interested. Anything you want to say? I guess, especially for Bell and Smitter going into the next round here. You want to?
I got a question for you guys.
Rally your players or something? Oh, you got a question.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this long break? How do you think it's going to affect everyone?
It fucks with everyone always.
I think it's not good. I think there might be some guys coming back a little slow. It can make a game change in the series.
Well, Notorious also brought up people playing different games. It's not only that; it's also them not having as much time to play games with family stuff going on. People aren't around as much either. I find.
Yep, I agree.
And I remember when we were in playoffs with Milwaukee, and we had that break. That really killed us, slowed us down. Nobody was even talking to each other for a couple weeks. So you do lose that momentum. It does fizzle out quickly. The ones that keep playing together, it does work out.
Yeah, we'll just see who stops playing after they get their inflatable sheep for Christmas. Spitter, I'm supposed to ask you. Dunks wants to know what shampoo you use.
What shampoo I use?
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom. You gotta prove it.
I'll second that. Your hair looks very silky smooth.
He doesn't use this shampoo.
All right. Anything you guys want to add before we go?
Yeah. See, it's just a cover up. Yep.
Same with Murph with his hat. He's fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Swifty there, I mean, he's in the chat. He makes a good point. But what do you guys think about that new tuner coming out in January?
Oh, that's
you guys read about that?
Yes. I was gonna mention that. Yeah, there's been an announcement that they're going back to the beta tuner.
What?
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know if they're gonna do it in the near future here, if it's gonna be after LG playoffs or what. But that could be a serious problem too for teams that are in it. It changes the game completely, so that'll be interesting to see as well.
Don't they usually do it around this time?
Well,
is it in the new year?
Tuner, yeah, but they're talking about like radically changing the game, right? Like putting it back to the way it was. They're changing the poke check. They're changing the stick lift. They're changing guys dropping sticks.
Yeah.
The skating, I imagine. So it's like
ton of power plays.
That's pretty serious, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that affects things as well.
Especially after a 2-week break, that's going to screw up a lot of people.
Yeah. So if you're in the playoffs, don't stop playing. It's important. You know, unless you don't care.
Get it right the damn first time and stick with it. Holy shit.
I still think the game's alright.
It's fine.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, the beta was a hell of a lot better, but
Agreed. I think everyone will agree with that. Other than the penalties, you know, seeing teams with like 30 minutes in penalties a game was a little bit upsetting. But other than that, the skating was awesome. So, all right. So I guess we'll leave it at that for this show. We won't be back now, I guess, until playoffs resume in a couple of weeks. So don't worry, I'll be fine. I want to thank again my guests tonight, Painter, Murph.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Spitter,
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
and Bell X91.
yeah, thanks for having us, boys.
Thank you guys for joining me. As usual, everybody have a great week. Enjoy your Christmas, your Kwanzaa, your Hanukkah, whatever you happen to be celebrating. And please, be safe. We want you all back here when the season resumes and going forward. So don't drink and drive, everybody. Y'all have a great night. We'll catch you later.
Cheers.